Hello people of the internet, welcome to Brotato with the new Dawn update. Today, we're just going to be playing Classic mode at the easiest level, Danger Level 0, with just the regular gunner and the Classic SMG. So yeah, now this game does start off quite simple, but then at level 20, wave 20, same difference, you end up reaching a boss. And this boss is, let's just say, very, very difficult. Now, at this, stage, just the very beginning, honestly, making it to level 15, that's going to be good enough for me. So, yeah. Either way, though, yeah. Now, the game's about, grabbing some weapons, upgrading your character, and, trying to beat as many waves as you can. Now, you get upgrades and all that stuff, and it actually does help you a lot as you go forward. Now, some of them are really expensive, but you can lock onto them to make sure that, you'll keep them for later. Because you wouldn't want to, get, the most beautiful weapon just to then have it, delete out of nowhere. No? I haven't really been playing it super long, but at the same time, it's really fun. And the idea is really simple, yet really, really fun. Right? It's just, you're shooting down random aliens who are coming at you. Now, it's not as if it's super duper difficult, but at the same time, it's still a really fun game. And it starts off simpler and gets harder as it goes along.
That's it.
And
see you in the next video.
The amount of different ways you can go to upgrade your character, and it feels like there was a lot of time and effort put into this game, which definitely makes it really fun to play. This is just, the gunner build, right? Each build is different. This one has a bunch of guns and mainly opts for range. Meanwhile, the brawler, he has shorter range, so you're more going for health, defense, all that stuff, right? And then for something like the mage, you're going for elemental damage, everything like that. So it's just really fun in that way. With so many different customizable options, it's really fun. So yeah, not sponsored, but either way, if you want to see some more of this game, I'm going to set a goal later in the video. And yeah, if you want to see other games, just leave those in the comment section down below. Now each wave does get longer each, time. Like wave number 1's 15 seconds, wave number 2's 25, wave number 3 is 30, so on and so forth, right? Either way, yeah. Now I'm looking for a piggy bank here because that is the most powerful, item in the game. You'll be wondering, how is a piggy bank that powerful? Doesn't even deal damage. Well, it gets you a ton of money, right? It gets you 10% of your money that you currently have at the beginning of every single round. This works up until wave 20. So you can end up with thousands of dollars, even slowly, which can then get you basically an infinite amount of rerolls and guns if you really want that. So, while it doesn't seem that helpful, it is the most helpful item in the game. So, if I see it, I'm definitely going to buy it. Now, the weaponing class system in the game goes gray, blue, purple, red. Red being the strongest, gray being the weakest, right? Now, this does actually come very handy because red deals way more damage than gray, which, is pretty good for you. However, the game also wants you to, upgrade all of your weapons by merging them together, right? So, blue would go into purple and everything. So, yeah. However, the game almost forces this. This is useful for getting a red one. However, at the same time, if you are going up against 100 enemies and you have a weapon that can only deal 25 enemies, can only kill 25 enemies, then suddenly you have an issue. However, against the same group, if you have 6 guns that deal 15 each, suddenly you're taking out, 90 enemies. That's way better. So, unless the game forces me to, I am definitely just keeping the whole stack, right? So, while yes, it's useful, it is also not necessary, and I think it's way better to just keep the entire stack and then slowly add on new ones and stronger ones as the time goes on, right? I've also developed my own ring method. Now this is a method I use to kill enemies, right? Standing roughly in the center of the stage, and then allowing the enemies to come to me. Now, as they die, they leave these green orbs in a rough circle, or ring, around myself. Now, this is really cool. It also makes picking up the orbs a lot faster and easier because usually they're going to be spread apart, really hard to get to. Here, they're all close together, really easy to get to, right? So, It saves a lot of time, orbs, and energy, really. I use this strategy up until wave 19. I use this because there is only basically one circumstance where this is not useful, in which all the enemies are really strong and they're coming at you at once, right? Because otherwise, you know, you can take them out from afar. Now, wave 19 also does get a lot trickier, right? Where I got pretty low, a lot. Because, believe it or not, these enemies start piling up, and I do not have the weapons to deal with that. But I do power through, and I do make it quite easily. So, finally on to the boss. The boss of wave 20 just is a big, really strong guy who summons these little red orbs that, you know, basically deal you on contact with them. So, you know, it's not that bad, right? However, they also deal a lot of damage, so, you know, especially when they're all grouped up together. So I did die, sadly. However, I was only aiming for wave 15, and I made it to wave 20, so I'm not going to actually say it's that bad. Either way, though, yeah, if you want to see more of, you know, Brotato, just, you know, leave 5 likes. For 5 likes, I will definitely play this game again, right? It's pretty fun, and I'd love to play it some more. Anyways, yeah, if you like this video, watch some other of my videos, they're pretty fun. And, you know, if you liked it so much you want to subscribe, that'd be great. Either way, in the top left is, you know, what YouTube thinks is best for you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.